Alright achievers, what is up? How is everybody doing? I hope you're having a great September. You're already halfway there in this month and I hope you've been crushing your goals week on week. You've got 2 more weeks left. I hope you found your product to launch on Amazon this Q4 and I hope you're working hard day and night. I'm sure a lot of you are burning the midnight oil and talking to your suppliers, finding products, hustling hard, figuring out what to launch, and just being focused towards launching your first product on Amazon. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about a bunch of IncoTerms. Now, IncoTerms stand for International Commerce Terminology, INCO-terms. If you're watching a lot of YouTube videos and you're in a bunch of FBA groups, you must have certainly come up across terms like EXW, FOB, DDP, CNF, CIF. So a lot of you must be wondering what are all of these options and what should you know about them. So I'm going to be talking about a couple of these options in this video, and I'm going to be linking a blog down below which I'm referring to right now while I make this video. So you can go ahead and read, and if you have any more questions, don't forget to drop them down below in the comments, because I also pick one comment from every video to win a one-on-one consultation call with me, wherein I can get on Skype or Messenger or any platform that you want to connect with me on and help you with your Amazon FBA journey. Now, winner of the previous video, hit me up on Messenger and let's set this up. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get into the video. But before we get into the video, we have to play that intro. That we are going to be talking about is the most common term that your suppliers are going to ask for when you're requesting for quotations. So they're going to be primarily asking for whether you want EXW or whether you want FOB quotations. Now, what is EXW and FOB? Well, EXW stands for X works. What does that mean is basically your supplier is going to give you quotations for the products itself. That is it. They're not going to take care of shipping. They're not going to take care of making your products reach the local port in China or whichever country you're importing from. They're not going to be taking care of anything except manufacturing the product. Now, 𝐀𝐦𝐬𝐿 prices will include the configuration of the product that you request. It's going to include packaging. It's going to include putting the products together into cartons. All of these costs are going to be a part of 𝐀𝐸𝐿. Make sure that your supplier does not charge you extra for packing those small units of your product into carton boxes for shipment. They're usually free and there's no extra charge for that. So that's 𝐀𝐸𝐿. Moving on, the second tier of option that your supplier usually offers to you is basically FOB. Now, FOB stands for two things. There are two prevalent definitions for that in the market. Free on board or freight on board. Both of them basically mean the same thing. The concept is the same. Now, over here, what's going to happen is that your supplier is going to quote you for not just manufacturing your product, but also making sure that they drop the product to the nearest port in their country of manufacturing. For example, if you're importing from China, they're going to ensure that your products are being dropped at the local port. Well, not just that, with FOB option, they are also going to take care of the paperwork, the customs fee, and the port fees at the port of origin when they offer you the quotation. So your quotation is going to cover the cost of paperwork, the cost of customs, and the cost of port fees for keeping your products at the port. All of this will be included when your supplier is quoting you for FOB price. So make sure you always remember this and make sure your supplier doesn't charge you extra fees for that. Now, with FOB option, what's going to happen is that you are going to have to manage your shipping once it's dropped at the port. Once it's dropped at the port, the supplier's job is done. You are going to pay off the supplier and their responsibility gets over at this point. After this point, you might need a freight forwarder or you can do it yourself if you're a company, but I usually advise having a freight forwarder. Now, I'm gonna make another video on to the importance of having a freight forwarder instead of doing this yourself, and that's very critical. So make sure you keep a watch for it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you are informed when I make that video. All right. going back to 𝐴𝑥Works, with 𝐴𝑥Works, like I said, they're only going to quote you for the price of the product. It's absolutely 100% your responsibility to take the product out of the supplier's warehouse or the manufacturer's warehouse and make it reach to Amazon's warehouse in the United States or whichever country you're going to be dealing with. So with 𝐴𝑥Works, the supplier's job gets over as soon as the products are manufactured and ready for inspection. With FOB, the supplier's job gets over as soon as they drop the product at the nearest port in China, inclusive of the paperwork, customs fee and the port fee. Alright guys, so the third most important term that is used amongst in this industry is DDP. Now DDP stands for delivered duty paid. What's going to happen in this process is that if you get a quotation from your supplier which has the DDP tag on it, it will basically mean that they're going to ensure that the products are not just manufactured but also shipped at the destination. It could be your residence address in the United States or whichever country you are going to be selling in, or it could be the address of the warehouse of Amazon. Now in this process, the manufacturer has the maximum obligation towards getting the products safely shipped to the destination. Now most of the suppliers and manufacturers tend to deviate away or steer away from this option because of obvious reasons. They don't really want to take the burden or responsibility of ensuring that the goods are safely delivered. They just want to manufacture the best of products for you. They want to deal with you and do business, and they just want to also make money. So obviously a lot of suppliers are going to not show a lot of interest in this mode. Although if you're somebody who's going to be buying in bulks, if you're somebody who's buying in containers worth of stuff, your supplier's going to sometimes take the risk and offer you a better deal because they might just have better connections with certain shipment companies who are going to ship it at lower costs. So that's when they usually offer DDP. Otherwise, if you're a new seller or if you're somebody who's going to be ordering anything less than a container, you might not get this option, and don't worry about that. That is absolutely normal. Now there's something else which is very similar to DDP. It's called DDU. DDU basically stands for delivered duties unpaid. What this means is that your supplier is again going to ensure that your products reach the destination port, not the destination address. So for example, if you're a buyer, somebody who's buying products from a Chinese seller in USA, so they're going to be ensuring that your products reach the USA port, whichever port that you want it to be delivered at, but you as a buyer are going to take care of all the duties and all the taxes that are supposed to be paid. They're not going to pay all of those duties. So make sure that you are aware of this. Make sure the quotations for DDU and DDP are sometimes intermixed. So make sure that you're not very much flattered if you get very cheap rates. Sometimes you have to drill in further and look ahead and ask the right questions to your supplier so that they are going to inform you exactly what are the costs that you're going to be bearing. Now, you might feel that this is a bit complicated, this is getting a bit complicated. Of course it is. That is why you need a freight forwarder. Now, we're going to be talking about that in a separate video, and that is why ensure that you subscribe to my channel and you hit that notification bell. Alright, so those were the 4 popular terms in this industry. There are certain other terms like CIF, CNF. Some of the options actually even ensure that your products are insured while they are being shipped across the ocean to your destination country. But a lot of suppliers might really steer away or might not want to get into all of those options because it just increases the risks on their shoulder and makes them obligated towards actually delivering the products with safety. Although obviously it's not their forte, so they might actually not be able to do it in the right way. That is why again I'm saying you need a freight forwarder. Anyways, so that is all for this video. I'm going to be linking the post which I'm referring to down below in the comments in the description section, so make sure you check that post out. If you have any more questions, drop them down below in the comments. I will get back to each and every one of you with responses, and I will pick one of you for a one-on-one consultation call with me in the next video. So make sure you keep watching, make sure you crush it this month, and make sure you find your next product. I will see you later.